Hi, it's Leslie Langdon with Shimmerz. Today we're going to be doing a technique using watercolor paper and Shimmerz Paints and a little bit of the Shimmerz Spritz vibes. We're going to be using my favorite color, which is Jenny B Bleu, and then we've got 4 Shimmerz Paints colors here that I've chosen. I'm not sure if you can see the bottoms, but you can tell they work well together. And then I'll just show you a sneak of what we'll be ending up with, which is this piece of framed art. Okay? Using stamped images as well. All right, let's get started. All right, so when we get started, usually what I do is I try to think about the colors I want to work with ahead of time, and I put them down on a piece of paper to see whether they blend together. I will probably not go with the licorice spritz just because the black doesn't seem to go with the rest of my colors here. But I have chosen to work with mostly paints. These 4 are paints and this one is a spritz. So I'm going to be using Tickle Me Turquoise Shimmerz, Golden Wheat Shimmerz, Key Lime Shimmerz, Blue Bayou Pearls, and Jenny B Bleu Vibes. So just forget this color here, it just doesn't really go. But that's a good way to decide, you know, what colors you think will work together. You put them down on paper, and if it doesn't work out, well, then you just don't use that particular color. So we'll start with a piece of watercolor paper. This is 140-pound paper, so it's very thick. It's meant to absorb a lot of water. So when we go ahead and spray it with the spritz, it's not going to warp, and it will be good for our frame. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shake up my vibes. This is the Jenny B Bleu, and I'm going to spritz around the corner here. Okay. I'm going to dry that in between because then you can really see what your colors are doing, and then you'll know how to go, what to apply next. I'm going to try. All right, now we'll go and apply some other colors, and I'm going to do it by actually pouring the paint on. I'll use this blue. This is the Tickle Me Turquoise. I've already mixed it up with the edge of the end of a paintbrush, just like this. Just make sure you get all the shimmer in the bottom to mix it in. You can just dab some of that on if you want, but I'm going to just pour it. This is liquidy enough that you can kind of just pour dots here and there. And with the heat gun, I'm actually going to start blowing these colors into the middle. I'm going to mix them up a bit, and then I'm going to add more liquid because I think that's what they need to move. So they need a little more liquid. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about this drying completely. I'm going to start adding some other colors. Like this green. This is the Key Lime Green. And I just love how bright it is. And it's going to add just a bit of contrast to what we're currently doing. All right. That this way. Just use your fingertip. If you want it to go in a certain direction, use your fingertip to get it to go the way you want. So I'll just work on drying this and come back. Okay, now those 2 paint colors are dry. So we'll go ahead and add some of the Golden Wheat. Okay, you can mix it around with your finger a little bit. And then spritz some more. Okay, and we'll heat that again. Okay, and the last color is the Blue Bayou. These are the pearls. Just going to mix that up a bit. I'm actually going to apply this maybe with the paintbrush so I can kind of direct where I want it. Mix it in. So I find this, the golden wheat, it's just a little too golden for this palette. So I'm going to try and just cover that up just a little bit because I want some of the color peeking through. Okay. All right, and then to tie it in, I'm going to spritz it a couple more times with the Jenny B. Blick. I'm going to want to get a nice deep color here at the bottom. Okay. All right, now this is the final drying step. And now it's time to start our stamping. So what I've chosen is a stamp. This is designed by Donna Downey for Unity Stamp Company from a set called Free to Be. And it's a bird sitting on a tree. I'm going to use, this is Black Soot Distress ink by Ranger. And make sure I get the image saturated. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp somewhere into the white. So give a good amount of pressure. Okay, and pull up. Okay, so there's our image. So the bird didn't quite come out all black, so I might go over that with maybe just a black pen. I'll do that right now because I see a black pen. So this is just a black Sharpie pen. So wherever you want to fix up an image. Now it's because there's a little bit of bumpiness to the page now that I've added layers of paint. But everything else I'll just leave as is because I like the look of it. And lastly, what I want to stamp is the sentiment. This is also from a Donna Downey set. So if you've ever, been a bit wary of stamping words, you can buy one of these blocks. They have grids in them. I hope you can see the grid pattern in there. What you do is you line up, you try to level the words with the grid. And so when you're stamping, you actually just ignore the stamp and just line up the acrylic block with the edges of the paper. So this quote says, "In a world of possibilities, imagine yourself as one." So again, I'm going to use the Black Soot Distress ink. I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to try and line up the grid. Okay, press evenly, pull up. Okay, so there you have it. So this is ready now to go in our frame. Okay, now you can get out your mat for the frame that you have. Hopefully it comes with a mat. And then we'll want to line up the sentiment so that it's straight. So figure out, positioning and then tape it on the back. So that looks about right. So I've got my tape handy here. See, because we've allowed ourselves an inch on either side, we can, it allows us to, shift it depending on where we want our design and maybe what colors are working well. Okay, so now that you've got it ready, it's ready to go in your frame. Pretty cool, huh? All right, I'll be back with the frame. And voila, here's our final piece of art. Okay, so this I am intending to put into my bathroom. Not bad, eh? Very quick, despite the drying time. Sorry, the glass is reflecting there, but see a close up. And there it is. A stamped, framed piece of Shimmerz art. All right, hope you had a great time, and I hope you try it. Bye for now.